Good morning, good evening, good whatever time it is you're watching this. I'm Dave with Cups and Handles, and in this quick market recap, we're going to break down today's SPY price action, identify the key technical levels that matter, and discuss what I'm anticipating for the next trading session. We only have a few minutes, so let's jump right into the charts.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. A little perturbed because I already recorded the whole thing, but I realized I didn't have my mic turned on, so we'll get through this. Now, I do have a migraine and everything, so this will be a pretty short video. Now, I will go over the SPY and everything in just a second, but I do kind of want to cover HIMS, because I do know that many people that are following me look forward to that. So, the earnings today weren't good, weren't bad. There was kind of two different parts to it. Is that the profitability side took a hit, okay, and there's a reason for that. The big reason for the hit was that they are trying to expand their business more. Okay, they're trying to put more money into further growth. Okay, um, not exactly the same as capex spending, but you can kind of think of that as that. So the profitability this quarter definitely took a major hit. The EPS definitely took a major hit. Okay, we can't ignore that. However, the revenue was very, very strong. The growth was very, very strong. So over the next couple quarters, we should see that growth pick up. We should see the profitability start coming back into the company. Okay, so overall, I'm still bullish on him. So I'm still going to be holding my shares, still going to be holding my long calls, even if we are seeing a little bit of slump. Currently, I think it's down roughly 5 or 6% right now. Not too concerned about that just yet. With that said, let's go ahead and cover the SPY. So on the daily time frame, we see that the 5-day moving average here is at the 771.19. It was very likely around that 770.80 towards the open. I didn't get a chance to check it today. Now, we only had a low of the 771.62. So we did not test the actual moving average itself. We only slightly tested the upper bounds of the moving average, which really doesn't count. Okay. Now, as of tomorrow's trading session, we should see the 5-day moving average probably around that 771.50 to 771.60. And seeing how the SPY right now is at the 773.03, that's where it closed. Overnight, it's currently at the 774. That puts us right into that range to test it tomorrow, okay? To retest that 5-day moving average. Now, with tomorrow, we don't really have much data going on. We have the home sales, and for the earnings in the overnight, we have SMCI and CoreWeave. Now, we have seen both of those companies both rally the market and pull the market down. So it's kind of up in the air what's going to be happening with those companies. But what's important is that leading into Wednesday, we have very, very important consumer data. We have the CPI data at 8:30 a.m. And so my expectations for tomorrow are probably going to be a slower day. Now, with that said, we have broken our buying channel here. Okay, we did hit the support and had a rejection off that range, or not support. I always say this the wrong way. Resistance, we hit the resistance and had a rejection off that range. And with that rejection here, we have the makings of a head and shoulders. Okay, and again, this is on the hourly time frame. Now, I'm not expecting this to really pull down, but I do think that we have to be prepared for that regardless, um, because everything's there to do so. Okay, now we could still form this cup to the upside, but we do need to pull to that 776.85. Okay, that's a very, very crucial range for the market to head towards. Now, I don't think that's going to happen in tomorrow's session. I could be incorrect about that. We will see. But I really don't think so. And the reason why is because in this time slot right here, and let me go ahead and put a square over it.
Trading is a skill that can last for a lifetime. Join my Patreon for live classes, my personal market analysis, premium Discord access, and direct communication with me. Invest in yourself, become a more consistent trader, and build a better future for yourself and your family. Visit patreon.com/wooksy to join today. Thank you so much, and let's return back to the video.
But in that time slot right there, that's Wednesday's session. Okay, so we have to get through tomorrow first, and if we're going to be getting hot or cool CPI data, very likely they're going to want to keep that around the 5-day moving average for tomorrow. Okay, so that we can either push upward or head downward from that level. Okay, because again, the 5-day moving average is our closest support. So when we generally get these very, very important CPI data readings, almost every single time, not always, but for the vast majority of them, that I could just recollect off the top of my memory, is that we usually are closing right at a moving average support. Okay. And again, the closest one we have right now is going to be that 5-day moving average. So my expectations for tomorrow, pretty much, we're going to close at that range. Okay. I don't really see anything too far from that. We might close above or below slightly, but we're going to be at that range pretty much, which puts us about there. Now, with that said, that does give us plenty of room to create a base from. Okay, so if the CPI data comes in cool, we can head upward, create this very nice cup. If we don't see good data, then we will have full ability to push downward and potentially have a very large pull down in the market. Um, all the structure is kind of built for that level. And one thing that I do want to point out right here is this really, really nice support range that was built not today, but on last Friday. And it's right at this 770, basically 770 20-ish range. Now, that's going to be a very, very crucial support to pay attention to. And if I were to really take a guess and predict what's going to happen tomorrow, very likely we're going to hit that support range and then pull up to where the 5-day moving average is. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm expecting right now. Now, I haven't expanded the buying channel just yet because we don't know if we're going to see expansion or not. For example, if we start, and let me just draw this out, but if we start having a sell-off, basically we see the data come in bad on the CPI reading, and we start seeing this head and shoulders really taking us downward, then what's this going to create? This is going to start creating a selling channel. Okay, and then we're going to be back into that range of we're back in the selling channel, expectations for the rate hike will start increasing again. The CME FedWatch expectations will very likely swap because currently they're showing very high odds of a pause compared to a hike in the rate. Sorry, I'm trying to pull this up really quick. Now, these are going to be shifting each and every day, but as you can see, they're almost 50-50 right now. I mean, yes, the odds of the pause are a little lower, but as of yesterday, oddly enough, it was at 55 chance, or 55.6% odds of the pause versus the 44.4% chance of the hike. Now, these are going to continue shifting as we get closer to this FOMC meeting, but the CPI on Wednesday is going to be very, very, very important, and that will shift this very, very much so. So if we get a cooler reading, we will see the odds of the pause basically shoot up quite a bit. If we get a hotter reading, we will see the odds of the pause or of the hike shoot up quite a bit. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to over the next couple sessions. I know this is kind of just supposed to focus on the next day analysis, um, but I think it's important to kind of, put this in context for the entire next few days, right? Is that we do have bearish structure, but we do have bullish structure too. Okay, and this is exactly what we're kind of looking for prior to CPI. So I wouldn't go overly bullish tomorrow. I wouldn't go overly bearish. I do expect slower volume, and I do expect that to the SPY to basically close around that 5-day moving average. So with that said, I hope everyone has a great trading day tomorrow. I'm not going to be around. I'm having a minor surgery. We'll talk about it on Wednesday. But with that said, have a great night, great day whenever you're listening to this, and be safe with your trades. Don't overtrade tomorrow. That's not going to be the day to do it. If there's going to be a big day to trade, it's going to be during Wednesday or Thursday when we get that CPI data or PPI data. So take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you in the next video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.
That wraps up this market recap. If you found the analysis helpful, please take a moment to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who would benefit from these daily market breakdowns. It really does help support the channel and allows me to continue creating free educational content for everybody. As always, have a trading plan before you enter a position, manage your risk, and remember, we're not trying to predict the market, we're trying to prepare for it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.